Hello, my Sparkle Sisters. How are you all? Welcome to the middle of March. Can you believe that this month is just flying by? And I'm so glad that you all are loving these crazy questions that we've got going on. They just keep getting funnier and funnier. And this week we got it posted a little bit later, so I wanted to get some more fun ones in there. Also wanted to thank you all for the amazing feedback on the success needs, kind of this series that we've got going on. And wow, there are a lot of y'all that are power and achievement out there. And just want to of course, my prayer is that we are going to be able to find out more about what makes us tick so that we can operate in peace and joy no matter what the circumstances is, no matter what the scoreboard is. Because when you're able to operate in your passion, great things happen. You're just like that magnet for those things that are going on. And also the other thing I want to challenge y'all today, it was our message from Crosspoint TV this weekend. And it was tithing 6% of your time in a place to serve. And it just came on the wheels of, or on the heels of something just amazing. This week I had the privilege of getting together with a young girl who has got some special needs. And her mom and we just connected up, and I got to go and give her first little facial. And so we played, and in the very beginning, she was looking in the mirror, and was a little bit of tears, and she's like, I am not pretty. And we're like, oh my gosh, yes you are, yes you are. And but the way that she looked at herself in the mirror, and I was there not to sell product or anything like that. I just wanted to love on this sweet girl. And so we went through the little facial and did very little. She got to decide what else she was doing, but we put on just like we got her little skincare, a little mascara, a little lip gloss. And then I put the picture, shared this picture, but she's sitting there and she's looking in the mirror. And then she starts to cry, and she said, Mommy, I have happy tears because I'm so pretty. And I'm going to tell y'all, I lost it. My gosh, it was the most crazy, beautiful thing I have seen. And, it just reminded me of why we do the things that we do. I was just going to grab that really quick and be able to show it to you because, I wonder how many times that we all get frustrated because, there's always, here she is right here. There's this sweet girl right here. Look at her. Look at that. Is that the sweetest thing? And then I gave her the little headband, and I don't think she's taken it off. And I just want to challenge all of you all that what gift, what talent do you have that you can go and serve others with no ask? One of the things whenever I start to get a little edgy as I go into success needs is whenever everything has an ask. In other words, everything comes back to somebody either, getting started or buying or booking or referring, or like there's just this transaction all the time. And one of the things that I love to do is just to be able to serve. So this week, as y'all think of different ways to be able to do that, let me know. I know we were at church. We had some amazing nonprofits there. We want to start spotlighting some nonprofits on this, doing some interviews. So if you've got some good people, let me know. So let's jump into our success needs. So again, last week we did power and achievement, and those are their basic need is they have to conquer. Okay. So this next one is love and belonging, and they have a preference for people. They are driven by relationships. They're easy to attract others to them. They're a natural connector. They really do see the sign of, make me feel important. They collect relationships. This is one that I did not see was me until I was in this class. And Sean was like, oh my gosh, Diana, this is who you are. And I really didn't think that was good. Like I thought I was going to be this power and achievement. But then as I think about it, the only time that I feel the most fulfilled is whenever people around me feel valued and seen and important. And we talked somewhat about that last week. And so for y'all that just love to connect, right? When their needs are met, they're connecting, they're confident, they're forward moving, their need to influence, they are energized by making a difference, values relationships, relationships, moving other people's hearts. They're the ones that gather up the stories. Those are your inspiration people. These are the ones that can tell you how far you've grown when you're so stuck on where you're not. These are the people that are looking for personal growth. They're looking for deeper conversations. And I will say to all of you all that work with people, I think that for those of us who are love and belonging, we're going to talk a little bit about that, is that whenever I'm first working with people, I don't invest a lot of time. Like I'm not going like emotionally deep with people. They kind of have to, I got to figure out kind of, are they in on this? Because I used to just have my heart ripped out, but I would spend all this time with new people, whether it was in volunteers or whether it was in my business or neighbors, whatever that was. And then like I would just be like so committed, just so all in, and then they just moved on. And so one of the things is that I kind of measure the amount of all in that I am. In other words, I believe in them. I'm going to find out a lot about them. I rarely share anything about myself. I think that's where the relationship does get thicker. I'm really careful in not one-upping people. Like if you talk to somebody and you're like, oh, well, I did this. And they're like, well, I did 10 of these. Or this bad happened. Well, I had 10 of these bad happen. And, like they're a little narcissistic. It's always got to go back to them. So one of the things that I'll say is, oh my gosh, I remember how that felt. Oh, look at you on the other side of that. Let's talk through that. So I'm going to acknowledge that I have felt that, but I'm not going to go into the story because I want her to be able to be able to do that. The other thing is that once you start sharing a little bit about yourself, then there's an emotional tie there. And not that I definitely am not I don't have a crystal ball for sure, but I do wait and see kind of emotionally where they're at and if it's going to serve a purpose for her. And so just for y'all that are coaches, just be very, very cautious. I know in the world of social media, we want to put it all out there. And for some of y'all, that's fine to do. But as a coach, when you're working with someone, we want to kind of leverage that conversation a little bit, making sure that it is more about her. So that's good on love and belonging. The other thing about this particular one is we talked about their stressors. If they don't have a platform to influence. So my love and belonging are the ones I love telling stories. I make sure that they're on events with me. Their voice not being heard is not going to work at all. Like they want to they want to collaborate. They need to make sure that they're making a difference. Again, whenever I love my business the most is whenever I see personal growth happening. When the challenge with a love and belonging, I'm going to leave this up for just a minute, is that they become emotionally bankrupt. That's what I was just talking about, because they give so much when that person moves on. And we know that dealing with people, whether you're talking about a business, you're talking about volunteers, you're talking about, most interactions, it is the rule of 10. In other words, 1 is going to be a superstar, 3 are going to work, 3 are going to think about it, 3 are going to be on the way out the door. And that's just normal. And I used to think it was just my business until I started serving at church. And then I'm like, wow, those... And then, doing some volunteer stuff in other places, I'm like, wow, that number, that is the truth. And what happens is love and belonging. We are the eternal optimists. I mean, like we meet somebody and we can see the very best version of them, financially, spiritually, emotionally, like we can see all of that. And the problem is we're more all in on them crossing the finish line than they are. And what happens is that we can hold on too long. And that makes that person feel uncomfortable because they don't want it as bad as you do. And then that's when they feel pressure. I don't mind pushing back in belief. In fact, I would rather lose a relationship with someone because I believe in them so much, but I want to make sure that they're working for their future and that I am the wind beneath the wings and not going into the how. I'm going to go more into the why. So again, what happens with love and belonging is they become emotionally bankrupt because you might be talking to them a year from now and they're still talking about the same people. And so just because you're not talking about somebody, just because they're not up on your board, doesn't mean that you believe in them any less. So whenever I talk about moving on from someone or letting them go or taking them off your board, squirting yourself with a little glitter, You don't do that out of anger or disappointment or discouragement. You do that because what she does speaks so loudly we can't hear what she's saying. And so again, just because somebody moves off my board doesn't mean I still can't see the best version of them. It just means that their actions don't match what it is that they're saying. And so that's where I have to be. That's true of all, but that is definitely true of love and belonging. So I don't know if y'all need to maybe kind of move some people over there. The other thing is definitely would move from mentor to rescuer really quickly. I know a lot of people who've got some counseling or coaching background we can just go a little too deep, too fast. Solutions, look at these trigger words. They're so good. Connection, relationship, friendships, others focus, belief, trust, family, gather. Again, showing her how far she's come in her belief. The other question that a love and belonging is going to say, who will I impact or encourage today? Remember whenever I started whenever we started in the energy, kind of the energy triangle, and I said to get out of guilt and shame and all of those under the 400 vibration, the way to get out of that is through gratitude. And so people who are love and belonging, they're going to get that more than others. And again, just asking her, when was the last time you wrote a note to your spouse? When was the last time you wrote a love note to your family? Like getting them to just be able to be grateful for other people where they're at. Those are going to be the people that really do relate to that. Again, a power and achievement might say, do I get paid for this note? Where love and belonging is like, well, do I have to do that to be paid? So again, they make perfect partnerships. Coaching questions, who are the 3 people you believe you could impact this month? How will you feel when you do blah, blah, blah? Tell me what you're working on. Who are you working with this week? Why would you consider them a key person? In other words, what has changed? Like, again, getting her to kind of decide if they're key, if they're on the bench, or if they're just somebody that, just needs to just kind of be part of the process. Here's a big one. What have you said no to this week? And how did that feel? And then how much closer are you to your dream life? So love and belonging people. These are going to be people that do a lot of volunteering. They're going to be at nonprofits. These are going to be at your networking groups because they're natural connectors. And you need these people in your life. And the biggest thing that you can do as a coach for them is help them to catch and release quicker and let them realize it's not because you're not believing in them. It's just that they have to be careful of their heart and their time. So let me know if you're love and belonging. I'm going to do one more today so we can kind of roll this out. And this is, I'm just doing this because these 2 are the ones that I am. So these are the 2 that are the easiest for me to talk about. And the next one is what we call freedom and choice. Freedom and choice, they have a preference for both people and processes. They're self-starters. They love change. They love new opportunities. They're problem solvers. When her needs are met, they have energy, they're passionate, they will do whatever it takes to get their choices open. They collect ideas and solutions, okay? Freedom and choice, open agenda. I always laugh with people, like I'll make up an agenda and I'm like, this is really just a suggestion. And because I can feel when the audience is connecting and not, and the flow of all of that. So for people that work with me, they have to draw this out a little bit. They love the desire to control decisions and schedules. They value relationships that don't require constant attention, finding their own way, independence, not micromanaged, energized by options, okay? Just like an overload of options. They're stressors for freedom and choice. That you want to stress them out, tell them they have to do it this way, right? You've got to do this process. You have to open up this appointment this way and close it this way. Like all the training and stuff I have is not for freedom and choice people. They might watch the video, but they're going to go do their own thing. They're going to find their own way. There might be a lot of training on different things, meeting people, networking, social media, health or wealth or whatever, but they're going to find their own way. And they just have to. It's like, remember that a success need is like air. And just because you don't understand it doesn't make it not relevant. Okay, so freedom and choice people, they need to be able to know you're starting here and here is the finish line. It's very similar to working with Gen Z. Okay, very similar. Millennials and Gen Z, just to be able to say, here's where we're at, show me how you get there. Like you'll want to be really curious and really, really open to letting them do their own thing. You will learn a lot because they will find ways to do this. For years, because of the dominant in my personality, and because I had a really low self-esteem, I had to control everything. It had to be done my way. It's amazing anybody even made it through those decades. I'm not talking years, I'm talking decades of that. As my confidence grew, I did not need to be right anymore. So those that did survive, if they give a suggestion, I'm like, well, go do that and tell me what you learned. So freedom and choice people, they love to be able to design new processes and they want to be appreciated for that. The accountability, not easy, does not work well. If you're wearing like a matching shirt, they hate it. They'll do it, but they're not going to like it. They're going to do something else flashy. That's why, like, whenever we do matching shirts, I'm like, okay, let's see your personality around that. And still, then they may not. They're not trying to be not a team player. Now, the problem with that is that to everybody else that doesn't understand success needs, then they look like a renegade and then they lose leadership with that. Other than to the other freedom and choice people are like, oh, I love she's not doing that. So that's why as a coach, you've got to explain, here's why we're doing this. We're creating FOMO, those kinds of things like that. That is to create a place for people to belong, helps people visualize. And then I know all around that, you're going to dress that up. If you don't tell them why they need to conform to something occasionally, they're not going to do it. And again, it's not out of disrespect. It's not because they think you're better than you. It's just that's just not how they roll. So again, being very cautious with that. Y'all that work with volunteers and then with also entrepreneurs, there's a lot of us here. Accountabilities, again, it's probably not going to happen. Try to figure out a way they can snap a picture of it. But they may or may not do it. It's going to hurt them. It's not in their best interest, but it's not going to come natural. So they have to decide a way to be accountable. When their needs are not being met, they will isolate, low energy. They, again, don't appear to be a team player. They're going to pull away and they're going to go find another place. And if you'll notice, this is the pattern. If that need does not get fit, power and achievement, love and belonging, right now we're doing freedom and choice, they're going to go somewhere else. So you have a lot of people leaving whatever it is that you're doing. This is why you may want to teach this and you may want to figure out who they are. And then you may also ask them, how am I the best coach for you? What is it that I do that drives you crazy? What is it I do that you feel like that you're heard and valued? We really, really need to understand this because they really do want to run with you. But if you suffocate them, trying to make them like you or process like you, they're not gonna, their DNA is just gonna make them go somewhere else. So that is where their stressors are at. The other thing, let's see, where did this go? Hold on. Goodness, I close this down here. Hold on. Sorry about that. So here's the other thing, that there are solutions, partnerships. The word help is not intriguing. Equip, probably not. Partner is a good word. Tell them the goal. Again, don't tell them how to do it. Choose your battles wisely. It's kind of like dealing with a teenager. They will listen to the why. Remember what I was saying, not the how. Trigger words, independent, autonomy, freedom, flexible, partner, equal, resourceful, find a way, make a way, self-starter, choice, options, decision makers, no rules. So if you love those words, you're probably freedom and choice. And then the daily question they ask is, what options do I have today? And to coach them, what do you think you should do? What do you want to accomplish this week, this month? What do you think your next step will be? How do you do that? I would love to be able to share that with others. Could you be on a focus group? Okay. Your freedom and choice people, again, are going to be your entrepreneurs, kind of working through that. So I hope that kind of helps you with your love and belonging and your freedom of choice. And again, the more you understand about you, the more likely you are to be able to make it through the mountaintops. And on our national Bible study, we're going through the book Visioneering, and my girlfriend Holly Lowe talked about, one of the things that she's done for her people, and this is going to be my challenge to you all, is that instead of looking at the mountaintop and the desert, we have a tendency to talk about the desert time. In other words, you're in just the desert, like you're working and nothing's happening. She said, I made a suggestion to my people to look at it as a mountain and a valley, because it is within the valley that the growth starts, and that there are beautiful, things that are unexpected. And this is truly where the mountaintop goes, because you don't go mountaintop to mountaintop, you go through that. And if you can embrace it and go, oh my gosh, I wonder what the Lord is wanting to teach me in this valley, then you get through faster and you're able to gather up more of the lessons. And then your energy stays good, instead of putting out desert, right, which is guilt and shame and frustration and discouragement, right? Then you're attracting all those people if you look at it from the valley. And she challenged her people to be able to every day on their spiral notebook, to be able to, or however they keep up their date book, that they draw out stick people. And to give you an idea, like one of her girls is working on earning their ring, and then her little stick person has got this ring on it, and then it's her husband like this, that he's cheering her on. So it's not the ring, it is the pride from her husband that's really motivating her. So as you kind of make these up, if you want to take a picture, send them to me privately or post them, that would be awesome. But that way we can visit our dreams every single day. And then whether we have the privilege of being on the mountaintop or the valley, what are we learning? And that as we're learning more about ourselves, we're not going to lose minutes wondering what if. We're not going to lose minutes, wonder why I'm not like her. I wonder why I'm getting the results, because you're trying to be like somebody else. And I believe that because together we're too blessed to be stressed, too anointed to be disappointed, too equipped to be whipped, that you are going to find some power and achievement people. You're going to find some freedom and choice people. You're going to find some love and belonging people. And next week we have fun and pleasure and safety and security. So we're excited to be hanging out. Get your fun responses in. Thank you for your time. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye, y'all.